Hi YouTube people! New project! Woo! This is Deirdre. You might recognize her from walking through many other videos and saying very funny things.
Ass and titties.
Can I get an ass and titties?
Not on command.
Alright, fair enough. The kit guitar went so well that I'm gonna do a new build with even higher quality stuff. A Warmouth Carina body. Black Limba, I believe, technically it's called.
Porous wood.
A very porous wood. Deirdre's gonna go ahead and help with this project, and actually, big reason she's helping is because she has done all the research that I don't do as far as woods and staining and dyes and all that stuff. This has some coat hangers on it right now because we are going to rig it up to this makeshift rod thing I made out of whatever came with my cheap Amazon lighting kit, and a painter's tent. Today we're gonna dye it, and then we're gonna let it dry overnight, and then we're gonna do the next step.
We got a water-soluble dye by Transfast. The dyes are really awesome because they just really, like, vivid colors are really possible with them. And it also seeps into the wood like a stain wouldn't.
We went ahead and did a test run on a sample piece of Carina, and that came out great, and so that's the finish we're going for. We did the ratio we were supposed to mix it just on the package, and we just cut it in half because it made a shit ton of it. We got a ton of our bluish, greenish, turquoise-ish dye. Is that a proper color?
Yeah, sure. By the way, instead of like ordering a guitar body and then not liking what you did to it, you can get those sample pieces of wood. Like, that was like $9, I think. So you can order those online from like Woodworker Source.
We did a couple of them, and this one came out the way we want it, so we're gonna go with this way. This should be cool. All right, teamwork. What do you have, 2 brushes, one to wipe on, one to wipe off?
One to wipe on and one to take the excess off.
We're in an active driveway, all right? So let's just go. We'll keep you updated. We'll show you what's happening along the way. We never have a wild cam. This is fun. There are so many spiders in here. I hate it.
I'm obviously wearing gloves because this would fucking hurt my hands.
Nice. Just so you know, the guitars that come from Warmouth are already sanded down to 320, so that will be our starting point. We're gonna do some fun stuff with the gloves, and then we're gonna dye the guitar. Woo-hoo.
What would you call these little things? These
A brush.
The brush. Okay, they pick up everything. We have cats, so got one of these like rolly things. Boop.
The last guitar definitely has cat hairs in it. This guitar probably gonna have spiders in it. Wow, I forgot how bright blue it is when it first goes on. After we put some of the finishing stuff off, it greens up a good bit. Is there any specific method to your mayhem here?
No, I mean, that's what makes it mayhem.
That's a good point.
Definitely wear gloves. This stuff, it's water soluble, so if you got it like on your kitchen sink, or if you get it, you know, like, it can be washed off easily, but on skin, tends to make your skin blue.
What if it gets in your mouth?
What's it doing in your mouth is my question.
What
and
if
maybe you deserve it.
Victim blaming.
Oh my god. The method we ended up coming up with is doing a couple rounds. Dye, let it soak in, the wood raises, then we sand, and then more dye. When you sand it down, and also when you put in green filler, it makes it one smooth surface. So when you put your shellac or whatever, you know, whichever finish you choose on, it makes it really shiny.
This angle makes it look like you can almost completely fit behind this guitar body. You look like an extra tiny person, or it's an extra large guitar body here.
I am an extra tiny person.
Yeah.
There are some deep grains in this wood. So I started noticing that the little bits, if you look really close, some of them were still wood colored. A method with grain filler that they talk about is pushing like this, like into the grain, kind of like pushing whether it's up or down. And so then I started doing that to the little bits that weren't getting any. Now they have sucked up some dye. Force that dye in there.
Force that dye in there.
Force it in.
How about enthusiastic consent with that dye
Not
in
for
there?
dye. No, I talked to you a lot about enthusiastic consent.
Yeah, he talked to me. It's almost concerning how much he talked to me about it. That's day one. We'll be back tomorrow to sand it back down and do a second layer.
Wash your brushes with soap and water. You can preserve them. Just do it right away.
That was Hot Tips with Deirdre. Wow. So that's what it looks like after drying overnight. Deirdre is helping her prego friend today. So while she's doing that, I'm gonna sand this down. And then when she gets back, we're gonna put on another layer of dye. Really, this whole video is just another power move showing you guys that I got a garage. So, CISO money. I don't even think you guys know what CISO is. I did a special on CISO. Now it's on Amazon. Go check it out. Fuzzies, I talk about wolf dicks and stuff. The reason I'm sanding it down now is because once you put the water-based dye on Karina, it lifts the grain, and so now it's all rough again. So I'm gonna sand it back down to 320. Oh yeah. I blew myself. I didn't make that up. If you don't, comment if you know what that's a reference to, and if you don't, I'd say Google I blew myself, but yeah, I don't know what you're gonna find. I sanded it all by myself. I'm very proud of myself. Now, we'll wait for Deirdre to get back and we'll stain it again, and I'm gonna get out of the garage because I don't like being here by myself because there's spiders. Okay.
This is very cool. What is this space back here called?
What is what called?
I don't know anything about guitars.
Oh, anything that's open is called a cavity. You can remember because it's really gross sounding.
This is what you call it on the guitar when you're like playing guitar, it's like finished, and you're like, look at this cavity back here.
Yeah.
That's not what I remember you calling it.
That's the back. That's the.
You said you might not put a plate on it.
A plate would be the like plastic thing, like the little plate that goes over it.
Okay.
This is just called the back cavity.
You said you might not put a back plate on it, so we might see the cavity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got this because I was having a hard time getting into those little corners yesterday. So again, we've got one to put it on, one to take off excess. And I remember the chef towels, so I can stop smearing our little tent.
Dye job round 2.
It's like a Smurf exsanguinated.
That's the end of day 2. What's today's hot tip with Deirdre?
Today is, while you're washing your sponges, keep your gloves on because I blew myself.
Nice. So that's what it looks like after 2 coats. Today is just one light layer of shellac we're using as a sealer, and then tomorrow, grain filler. Ideally, I would have put one of those wood handle things into the neck so I could turn it around and stuff, but I didn't, so gonna do the best I can. All right. That's it for today. I probably should have used glasses and a better mask, but I didn't, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, new day. Today, I'm going to use this Ebony grain filler on, I'll probably put it on the guitar. Ebony, nice. Maybe you can see there's a little bit of wood color still where the stain didn't get all the way in there. This should hopefully take care of that. Also, it is a wood-based grain filler, which is why we put the layer of shellac in between. Because sometimes if you have a water-based dye and then the next layer is also water-based, it mixes together and does all sorts of things you don't want it to do. So hopefully the layer of shellac stops it from doing that. I'm gonna put some of this in my little makeshift cup for it, and because if it's not the right consistency, you gotta mix a little water. Just showing you what water looks like in case you don't know. We're going for the consistency of sour cream. Black sour cream. Then I'm gonna apply it with our little squeegee. That's a little thick right now. Right now it's more of the consistency of a nice gelato. How are there cat hairs in there? This thing was sealed. Glove up, dudes. Just a little bit. I'm James Harden. I think that's about what we're going for. Just gonna coat this baby all the way now. And this should be good so we can really push it in. That went pretty well. I only got a little bit in my mouth, and we'll come back and check on it in about an hour or two. Okay. We definitely hear an animal back here. He's a raccoon. Not funny. It's been about 2 hours. It's all dry. I put on a headband and some different jeans. I was ruining my good ones. These ones make my penis feel weird, but we're gonna be okay. For the sample piece of wood, I sanded the grain filler off. It kind of took a lot of the dye off and lightened everything up. So today, I'm gonna try wiping it off with warm water and a rag. Can already tell this might take a lot of rags. We got shop towels, we got rags. Shouldn't wear gloves. Still time. Almost done. My back hurts. I'm gonna get more shop towels. Okay. I thought with the wet cloth it might not take off as much dye as sanding, but it still is taking some off. I think because it's a water-based grain filler and a water-based dye, just one light layer of shellac wasn't a good enough sealer, and that's why it's lightening up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep getting the rest of the dark spots from the grain filler off, and then I think we are gonna end up doing one more round of dye.
Do you have everything out there?
I need to get a battery, I think.
Okay.
Can I call you the Notorious B.I.G.?
Why?
Because you're ready to die.
Oh my god.
That was a good one.
It looks good.
Looks great. All right. Tell the camera to let it dry 24 hours.
Let it dry 24 hours.
All right. We've dried 24 hours. I taped up the neck pocket because we don't want any of the finish to build up and make the neck fit any tighter. Oh. To start finishing it today, I'm putting one layer of shellac, which should seal it. In theory, I'm not entirely sure if it's necessary or not, but we did it for the sample and it worked great. So I'm gonna put one layer of shellac on, let it dry 24 hours overnight, and then for the next 3 or 4 days after that, I'm gonna spray it with lacquer. 3 to 4 coats a day, about 2 hours in between each coat. So total there will be about 10 or 12 layers of lacquer. I'll film that and just go ahead and speed through it, time lapse it, and you'll also see that I'm going to put the cans of lacquer in warm water in my sink because warm lacquer is supposed to spray on smoother than cold lacquer. And then after that, the finish has to cure for about 10 to 14 days before we can wet sand and buff. So let's do all that now, and I'll see you guys in about 2.5 weeks. Welcome back, everybody. It's been 11 days. Look at that. Look at it. It's beautiful. 11 days is as long as I could wait, okay? I'm only a man. Depending on what you read, people are gonna say 3 days is fine, you gotta wait 6 weeks or whatever. I found something that said 7 to 10 days is the sweet spot, and I liked that, so I'm going with that. And so today I'm gonna wet sand. I know it's already like 5 o'clock, so I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get today. But honestly, if I'm up for it, I might just go all night and finish the whole guitar today. I don't know. I'm saying that like, you know what? If you're watching that right now, it means I might have done it. Otherwise, I would have edited it out so I didn't look like an idiot. I should take that back. I literally am just on this thing farting and fighting with my cats. I think I've made myself look like a pretty big idiot on this channel. Hey, my favorite singer! Anyway, very happy with how this came out, dried, cured, whatever you want to call it at this point. But today is the day to wet sand. So that's what I'm going to do now. All I did is I took some warm water with 1 drop of dish soap. That's going to be my wet for my wet sanding, my lube. Don't try to use this as a sexual lubricant. fellas. I don't know if any of you ever tried to jack off with shampoo in the shower when you were a kid, but if you did, you know that it gets in your pee hole, it stings. I imagine it doesn't feel good for the ladies either. Then I'm gonna cut up pieces of 1,000, 1,200, and 1,500 sandpaper. There's so many curves and stuff on this guitar. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go by hand. I'm gonna do the 1,000 grit first, and then I'm gonna change out the water, and then do the 1,200, change out the water again, then do the 1,500. Just so we're not, dipping the paper back in and rubbing harsh things back on the surface. So I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse it so I can just listen to music and have a nice time, and instead of talking to myself at the camera the whole time. But you'll see, we're just gonna sand through those grits of sandpaper until we have a nice smooth finish, and then we'll buff it out. So let's do it. Okay, here we go. We are sanded down to 1,500, and it is as smooth as a baby's face. I don't know who came up with smooth as a baby's ass, but it was definitely a perv, because baby's face, arm, everything, very soft. I don't know why they went with ass. Completely unnecessary, completely inappropriate, okay? Now that this is sanded down, polishing, buffing. What I'll be using is this Strata Ultra Cutting Cream. It says it produces an outstanding gloss. I was thinking about hand buffing it, but I got the attachments that go on the end of your drill, so I'm gonna try that. I've never done it before, and I guess the goal is to not burn through the lacquer, and try it on the back first, in case something fucking crazy happens. All right, wish me luck. Dude, it is coming out super fucking awesome glossy. It's just taken a long ass time. I've been doing this for 20 minutes already on camera with the fucking drill. I'm gonna do a bunch of it by hand now, just getting around the sides and all that. And I'm gonna sit in front of the TV and watch some news or some shit. And but you know, I'm literally just gonna be going like, I'm just gonna be fucking jacking off the guitar till it's super shiny with the rag and the car stuff. Okay, see you in a little bit. I'm gonna call that done. I think that looks pretty great. Put it next to the test sample. Somehow the sample ended up being a little greener and the actual guitar ended up a little bluer, but I love it. I think it's great. It's super shiny and glossy. There's one, you can see it in the light over here, one kind of imperfection, little bubble from the lacquer, but who cares? We'll call it a B stock and charge $50 less for it. I'm keeping this guitar, so I don't care. I think it's pretty respectable. I think it came out pretty good for a first time doing the whole dye lacquer buffing job. Come on, let me know in the comments. Is this okay for a first time? I think it's pretty good. Look at that. Carina turquoise dyed body. Pretty sick. Green would have been cool too, but you know, whatever. What should we do first? Let's stick with the body for now, and then I'll show you the neck in a little bit. I'm not going to shield the cavity. Every mod video I've posted so far, somebody's always asking, why didn't you shield the cavity? I'm not having problems with the noise. I'm just not having it. Especially with humbuckers, even in this 100-year-old apartment, not having a problem. So I'm not gonna bother shielding it. Before we put the electronics in, here, let me just tell you, gold hardware, okay? This thing is getting serious gold hardware. It's gonna be a fucking classy guitar, okay? I did go with another Dragonfire Pickguard. I love Dragonfire because they will wire up your pickguard super clean, super professionally, and if you're not happy with the pickups, you can just swap those out and just, you know, wire the pickups to where they're already wired in the whole arrangement. We went their kind of PAF style humbucker, so kind of like a vintagey humbucker kind of thing. We got our gold knobs, we got our three-way switch, we got coil taps for each humbucker, and of course, a kill switch. And I think I posted, depending on when this goes up, within the last couple weeks, I posted a video where I swapped out this plastic kill switch for a good one, for a nicer one, and I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm going to do it before I even wire up the guitar. I got a Tessie little mini gold kill switch, so all I need to do is take this one. This one might actually fit in. If it doesn't fit in, I can just take a reamer and just widen this hole a little bit. And basically, it's got the same two wires. White one is going to the pickup selector, and the green one here, which will be black one here, is just going to be grounded on the back of a volume pot. So I'm going to go ahead and wire that up now. If you need to see an in-depth video on how to put in a kill switch or switch out a shitty kill switch for a better kill switch, go watch my last video called something like putting a kill switch in a guitar for cheap and easy. These things are like 10 bucks, 15 bucks, and you just, super easy. So, awesome. This didn't come with an extra black wire for a ground wire, so I gotta get into my little wire kit. I'm just gonna snip a little black wire and, you know, get the little ends out and make a little ground wire to go from the back of one of the volume pots to my trem claw. I guess I paid the extra few bucks actually to make this solderless. So on one of the volume pots it has this little contraption right here where the input jacks go, and you just can take this little tiny screwdriver that comes with the kit. It's got my gold Pickguard screws too and my little Allen wrench, but you take this little tiny screwdriver and undo that, and you can just kind of pop the wire in and out instead of soldering. Soldering the ground wire is one of the easier parts, but I just wanted to see what it looked like, and look at that little screwdriver. It's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like a screwdriver for a mouse. Someone commented on one of my videos that I swear too much, and I would just like to say that I am actually genuinely, sincerely, really fucking sorry. Let's bring you in for this. You're gonna, I don't know why I ever zoomed out. I paid for the extra cloth wiring too, which is, you know, I think it was like 15 extra bucks, but it is very nice just to be able to slide it back like the foreskin of a young Jewish boy before he's circumcised. Me. I'll just talk about me, so I'm not talking about other kids' penises. You should never do that. You should not only not talk about them, you should never think about them. That's what I think about kids' penises, on the record and off the record. Let it be known that Adam Newman is not interested in children's penises. All right. Those feel like they're in. That feels like it's in. Let's get this ground wire going through its little hole into the back. You see that? Woo! It's in its little home. You know, we'll cut that to size later, but right now, let's see what this looks like with the pickguard on it. I don't even have to worry about holes lining up because I get to drill my own holes. I'm not going to drill it down yet until we have a few other things in here, but that looks pretty fucking solid. While we're here, let's get that input jack going. Do we have a gold input jack? You're goddamn right, we got a gold input jack. Woo! Okay. That looks pretty good. Let's get the bridge. This is getting fun. What are we doing for the bridge? A fucking gold Godo? Do we have a Godo bridge? Ooh, baby. I bought it from Warmouth, and the receipt just says vintage 6-hole tremolo. I want to say it's Godo. I'm not 100% sure. Let's plop it down right there. Fuck, this thing is looking badass. I like this. I'm a fan of this. I don't know if this is the best thing for this, but I am just going to use this wax to wax up the screws before they go in. Take these screws and dip them in the wax just a tiny bit, just so I can get these screws to go in a little bit easier. Who wants to see the neck? You guys want to see the neck. We got Mooncaster headstock. We got flamed, roasted, maple neck. Look at that flame. That's fucking badass. We got a Graph Tech nut. We got pearloid block inlays. We got gold motherfucking frets. We got dark Indian rosewood. And we got a 10 to 16 inch compound radius fretboard. Fuck yeah, dude. I think this is fucking badass. I'm excited about it. Let's put it on. Look at that shit. Look at that flame. Ooh, it's got no finish on it because it's roasted maple. I don't gotta put shit on it. Let's see if we fit after all that finish went on. Nice. Nice. Oh shit, that's right. I got a motherfucking gold neck plate. Boom, so same thing. I'm just gonna dip them in a little bit of wax. That's what the guitar looks like. I have not held it yet. Now that that's on, I will be comfortable putting the pickguard screws in. We need a super tiny drill bit to do some pilot holes around there. Woo, let's do that. Actually, wanna know a fun thing we can do now? Technically, I can plug it in and see if the electronics work. There's no strings, but I can still do the old screwdriver taps. Woo! That's good! Stick that in. Yeah! Alright, well, that's fun. That was skipping ahead a little bit, but just knowing that so at some point noise is going to come out of this thing, that's pretty much guaranteed now, so that's good. Okay. So, pilot holes for the pickguard screws. Fuck! That is starting to look like a guitar. Let's go ahead and put the trem claw in. These go in there. Just got worried that I dropped floor wax on the floor. It's like, you're welcome, floor. Yeah, I just don't have the right shaped things all the time. And I'm just talking about my penis. I gotta go clean up. Just kidding, come on, it was a clean fat. Let's start with this classic situation. And then this wire's too long, but we gotta solder that to the back of this. We actually have to take a little screwdriver and just scratch the plate a little bit so we can get down to we can get whatever, if there's like a coating on it, so it'll actually make contact and ground. We're gonna scratch it up, and then we're gonna put a big old blob of Terminator jizz, as I always call it, solder. Ha! I already fucking got solder on the guitar. You know what? Good. Let's already put a fucking blemish in the finish. Why not? Get it done and I won't worry about it anymore. I know I played that cool, but I'm fucking pissed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to tuners, strap holders, and strings, I believe. Tuners! Tuners! We got Schaller locking tuners. Gold. Not just like gold, it rules. It's like they're literally going to be gold colored. Nice. It should just be stick it in the hole, put a little washer on top of it, the little reach nut in between, and then I will be drilling more pilot holes for the tuner holes on the back. Another thing that came with the Warmoth neck warned me that roasted maple splits easily, so use extra caution. So I will be doing that. Guess who didn't fuck that up? For right now, no string trees, and also for right now, no water slide, no decal. I'm not sure if I want to put one on there yet. I think it looks pretty awesome, not branded. I do have another Farticaster decal. This could be another Farticaster, but I just don't think that's what this is. The last thing I need to install are the strap buttons. I just got these on Amazon, but they're D'Addario. They're not strap locks, but they have a nice design that your strap is pretty secure on. So if you're doing big whoop, that kind of shit, don't do that shit. I don't know. Who do you think you are doing that shit? No, do whatever you want. It's fucking guitar. Do whatever you want. That is pretty good. Looks centered. It's facing down. I'm into it. Look how shiny this shit is. Look at that fucking flame. Holy shit. Who knows? Maybe it'll sound like complete ass, but it looks fucking good so far. A text message from my girlfriend. Deirdre hasn't seen this yet. I forgot she was in this video. She's texting me TikToks. I don't got time to watch TikToks right now. I'm building a guitar. She'll understand. Boom. Boom. All right, I'm gonna get the pickguard plastic off and put the strings on. Da-da-da-da-da. iMovie music. See you in a sec. Guys, it is perfect. Just kidding. It's late. I've been working for like 5 straight hours. My battery's gonna die. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm gonna work on the intonation and the string heights and all that shit off camera, and I will see you tomorrow for the final look. Thanks for sticking with me so far. All right, later, dudes. Okay! I got up this morning, I futzed around with the string action a little bit, and that's all I had to do. I had to screw in the claw a little bit more so we weren't floating here, because I like it straight against the body, and then, you know, rip on the bar from there. But, like, I didn't even have to change the intonation. This has happened more than once, and it's a frickin' miracle. The saddles came already kind of staggered like that, and it was a perfect fit. I mean, like, not even the tiniest bit of adjustment. Look. In tune, all up and down the neck, so I got no complaints about that. The bridge humbucker sounds great. The neck humbucker sounds great. I know it's quiet. My neighbor already hates me. If I were to do anything differently, I think I will add a string tree or two just for tuning stability, give it a little more of a break angle after the nut. But as far as the little sitar-y noises, none of that stuff's coming out at all, so that sounds great. And I would probably also get this second volume knob a little closer to the first one, because if you want to roll it while you're playing, this coil split is a little bit in the way. Totally still usable, not a disaster, but that's it. I'm happy with it. The action is low, but not crazy low. It's like these, I don't know, supposed to be vintagey voiced kind of pickups, but I think they work for super metally stuff too. There's your clean bridge pickup. Split it into a single coil. Yeah. Here's your neck humbucker into a single coil too. Nice, but boring. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you either learned something to do or not to do. And that's it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm gonna do a couple more fun projects. My brother wants me to build him a guitar now, so that'll be at least one coming up. And still waiting on tour dates to get out there and do comedy. I'm vaxxed now, baby. So yeah, that's it. Thumbs up if, you know, you like boners. Or if you hate boners. So, you know, I never really know how to end these things. It's not really that I don't know how to end, I just hate goodbyes, you know? So, I guess I'll instead of saying goodbye, I'll quote the greatest movie of all time, Masters of the Universe, and I'll say, good journey. See you next time.